Hi everyone, for this session we are going to discuss agriculture, environment, and hunger. So to start with, let's have first the definition of terms, and we will define here what is an agroecosystem and soil. Agroecosystem, by definition, this is a farming that creates ecological condition, and farming is being done by the farmers. It encompasses environmental and decision networks that are connected and that perform different functions, leading to the provision of a wide range of ecosystem services. In other words, agri-ecosystem introduces sustainable use of the soil that may provide important regulating services as well as provisioning services such as climate change mitigation and food production, which could give a huge impact to humanities. Now, agroecosystem requires plowing, and this is for the traditional one. It requires the use of a carabao and some tool. And for now, since we are already in technological world, so there are so many technological era, there are so many ways to plow the soil. Now, unlike the natural soil disturbance, for plowing, it exposes the soil to erosion and thereby it damages the physical structure, and as a result, it could decline the organic matter of the elements. Agroecosystem is being used also by the farmers to plant crops in unit fields and rows, which is very disadvantageous because it makes it easy to be infested by the pests such as insects. Now these simple geometric layouts make life easy for pests because the crop plants have no place to hide. If we are going to compare them in a natural ecosystem, many different species of plants grow mixed in intricate patterns, so it is harder for pests to find their favorite victims. Agroecosystem also includes GMCs, or also known as genetically modified crops. So these are plants in which their genetic material or genetic composition is being altered. Other GMCs are pest resistant, insect resistant, and herbicides resistant. Now, since we are discussing agriculture, of course, we need to tackle the soil because soil is one of the most important composition, or yeah, the composition of the agroecosystem. Now, soil is the most complex layer because this is a mixture of minerals, an air, water, organic matter, and any other various organisms that are decaying already. So they are being decomposed and they will be part of the soil. So soil is considered as a complex ecosystem, and it is made up of many layers, which is known as horizons. And later we will discuss what are those type of horizons. So soil usually covers most land surfaces. So our land surfaces are covered by soil, and it is one of our most indispensable resources. Indispensable meaning to say this is one of the most necessary resources, simply because we need soil for for our daily activities, for planting, for the water itself, whatever. So this is necessary, one of our necessary resources. Further, the soil serve as the bridge between life and inanimate world. Inanimate, these are those non-living entities, which of course is important for life, for living entities, so that life could still remain, or the resources to support the life itself. Now, all life, the entire biosphere, this is the sphere of the planet Earth wherein it holds life itself. So either in the water, hydrosphere, in the soil, in rocks, whatever sphere in the planet Earth as long as there is life itself. So this is what we know as biosphere, owes its existence to a dozen or so many elements that must ultimately come from the Earth crust. So just like what I said earlier, so soil is divided into many layers or horizons. We have O horizon, which is also known as the organic layer, A horizon or the topsoil, B horizon or the subsoil. We also have here the E horizon or the E horizon, which is in between the A and the B horizon. We have the C horizon or the parent material horizon, the R horizon or the bedrock horizon. Now let's start to discuss what are the contents of those different layers or horizons of the soil. Now, O horizon, this one, if you try to look at here in this picture, this is the O horizon, and this is the layer of the soil where we stand. This is the topmost layer with leaves in organic matter, which decompose and forms or become a humus. And technically, those decomposed organic entities will be part of the soil. Now, humus can tell us if the soil is fertile or not. And based on the type of the soil, humus or the O horizon can be classified into two. We have the thick and the thin O horizon. However, in some cases or in some soil type, O horizon could also be absent. The second one, we have the A horizon. This one here, from here to here. So this is known as the A horizon, and this is below the O horizon if the O horizon is present. This is known as the topsoil, and this is the layer where we usually plant our seeds. Why? Bakit po? This layer is rich in minerals and humus. That's why it makes it dark brown, because this is rich in humus. After all, this is the humus here, the O horizon. So right after that, we have here the A horizon. It is usually soft and porous. That's why the plant could stretch their roots at ease, and they could hold air and water, which is essential for the roots of the plants in order for them to grow and develop. In addition, in A horizon, this is also where we could find the worms and the rodents, as well as any other living entities such as the millipedes, the centipedes, the bacteria, and fungi. Right after that, we have the E horizon. So E horizon, this is known as the elevation layer. So this is a light colored zone which contains a little organic matter such as clay materials, and clay materials are depleted. They are being washed out in this layer, and soluble substances are removed by leaching in this layer. And then we have the B horizon, or also known as the subsoil. This is right after the E horizon. It is in this layer, this is hard and compact. Therefore, only the roots of those big and strong plants can reach in this layer. So this layer is rich in mineral deposits, which is very large in terms of proportion, as well as clay material. We could also find it here in this layer in B horizon. It is lighter in color in comparison to A horizon, because in this layer, this is less in humus. And farmers, usually when the farmers plow, they often mix the A horizon and the B horizon. Right after this horizon, we have here the C horizon. Now, C horizon is also known as the regolith, and this is the layer of a weathered parent rock. And therefore, since this is most typically a layered rock where we could find them, there is no plant or organic matter in this layer. And then we have the bedrock. So bedrock, this is the unweathered parent material. layer. This is the hardest layer of all the layer of the soil, and it consists of unweathered winter rock which has support all layers above. It is situated in several layers or several feet below the surface, and it holds various types of rocks. So what are the examples that we usually have in the market in order for us to make jewelries? No, so we have granite, we have quartzite, we have basalt, and we also have sandstone, and many more. So ladies and gentlemen, these are the layers or the horizon of the soil. From the O horizon, which is the layer of the soil where we stand, down to the bedrock where various types of rocks are located, and they are unweathered. Now, the horizon O, A, E, and B are considered as the true soil. In terms of the components of the soil, it is divided into 6. So number 1, we have sand and gravel. So for the sand and gravel, these are mineral particles that come from the bedrock. This is the lowermost, this is the deepest layer of the soil, and either they are coming from the same environment or came from somewhere else, such as they are being blown by the wind. The second one, we have the silt and the clay. They are the tiny mineral particles. The clay holds water due to its flat surfaces and ionic charges, which causes it to be sticky. I think you are familiar already with the clay, but the same as what your brother or baby sister is playing, the clay itself. So this is how it looks like. The third one, we have the dead organic materials. So these are the plant matter decaying. It gives nutrients in the black or brown color of the soil. And together, this one, it makes the humus. The fourth one, we have the soil, flora, and fauna. So flora, these are the flowers, and fauna, these are the animals. So these are the living organisms present, and that typically we could found them in the O horizon and the A horizon. So such as, what are the example? We have the soil fungi, we have the worms, bacteria, or insects that could help recycle organic compounds and nutrients, as well as the plant roots. And then we have water as the fifth layer. It comes from either rainfall or a groundwater, which is essential for the flora and fauna. Of course, we need water. And then lastly, we have air. This is present between the soil, and the soil has a tiny pockets of air that help the organism survive underneath. So if you try to observe, if you have your own garden, so from time to time, perhaps once a week, you need to plow your garden to give spaces and so that the air could penetrate the soil. So that's it for this session. We define what is agroecosystem, what are the layers of the soil, and what are the components of the soil.